Hello everyone, welcome to Rune Readings with Ashley. So as promised, here's the pumpkin, and I got my essential oil diffuser in there. As you can see, his one eye is kind of messed up, but I think it makes him look more spooky. So there he is. I've never done that before, so I thought I would try it for the first time. And I thought I would share with you all. I got a couple of new books today. So I got this beautiful, oh, it's hard to see, this beautiful leather-bound book for my journaling. And I got a shamanism book. And I got an astrology book today. So as soon as I'm done this book here that I've been working on for the past month and a half, I'm gonna start working on those. In fact, I already read the shamanism book today while I was waiting for laundry to be done. Everybody say hi to Floppy. Hi, Floppy. This is my rabbit. I don't know if I've ever showed him on camera or not, but he's my big fella. He's so cute. And check it out, guys. I don't really want to show too much of my house. It's pretty messy and cluttered, but this is my living room. I love my pumpkins. And this is our setup for tonight. I'm going to do a reading for you guys. And I got don't think we're going to use it tonight, but I got my pendulum in here and my runes. So I'm just going to set this up so I don't have to hold on to the camera while I'm talking. Whoops. Can everybody see that okay, I hope? All right. So yeah, I hope everybody's having a good Halloween. I'll just show this. We're not going to use this tonight, but I'll show you guys. If you ever book a private reading with me, this is another tool I can also use in addition to the runes to help with some spiritual questions. So this is my hematite pendulum. And for anybody who doesn't know how a pendulum operates, it's different. I think it might be different with each person, but for me, it circles this way for yes, and it goes this way for no. So yeah, that's what I do with that if I have yes or no questions. So I thought we could do something a little different tonight. I want to do a reading for the coming year from now until next fall. And then I'd like to do a overall like bonus oracle card to go along with it. So I'm going to do 4 runes, and then I'm going to do an oracle card. So we'll get our incense lit. And I did already presage the house, but I'm going to do it again. My trusty barbecue lighter. Okay. So, I affirmate that there be no negativity or unwanted energy contained within this circle. I call upon deities, spirit guides, ancestors, or my higher self to come and give me a message tonight regarding myself and my viewers' future for the following year. Okay, and then tonight I'm going to start off this session with a little sound bowl cleanse. Okay. So tonight we're gonna pull 4 runes. I thought to myself, 1 rune for each of the regular elements, earth, air, fire, water, and also representing winter, spring, summer, and fall. And then afterwards we will pull a complementary oracle card. So what does Spirit have to tell us about the, it's okay, Floppy. Floppy got a little spooked there because I think Sebastian was opening and closing the door. Poor Floppy and the cats have been a little spooked tonight. There's been some fireworks around, so. Alright, what does Spirit have to say for the upcoming season of winter? What messages do we have to relay? Okay. Reverse algaes. So, we get this one a lot in readings. Algaes is the rune of the elk. So I'm already getting the message that, due to the whole, season that we've been in with the hunting and all this, because hunting, has been a big part of, my family's life recently. My husband's been hunting quite a bit. Unfortunately, as of right now, I don't have my firearms and hunting license, so I'm not participating. I mean, I could go and just be present, but with me having to work and all that, I haven't really seen the need. So that is the plan, is to go get that eventually, but right now I don't have that. So the message I'm getting, I keep hearing the word sustenance, food. So, because in my mind right now, I'm viewing the elk. I'm not necessarily seeing this rune today as a protective rune. I mean, I guess it is in a sense right now, but I'm more seeing it as a rune of nourishment. And a little bit different, I guess, than the fehu, because the fehu is the cattle. I mean, when we think of that, we more think of money, I guess, in that form of abundance. But right now I'm seeing things might be really tough this winter for a lot of people regarding food. Possible, I do not, and again, I do not mean to be negative or say anything bad. It's not like that. It's just, these are the messages that I feel that I'm genuinely getting, and we need to, the best thing we can do with this information is to just take it in and know what to do with the information, like be prepared, I guess. I'm seeing food and sustenance being a bit of a problem this year during the winter months. I think with our soaring inflation on pricing for things is going to be really expensive. I'm seeing there's some people who this winter are going to have a lack of people to be around for the holidays. So, you know, don't be afraid to open up and, you know, ask your neighbor what they're doing for the holidays, because maybe they don't have family to be around or to be with. We are approaching this time of year that can be really hard on a lot of people. So delicately, of course, and depending on whether or not how well you know the person, um, extending a reach or an invite to somebody who doesn't have any family that they can spend the holidays with, regardless of what um, observation they choose to engage in celebratory celebration um, with respect, of course. I think it would be a really good idea to extend an invite to people who may need to be with somebody, because there are some people who maybe they have family but they don't have a good relationship with their family. um, you know, there's been a lot of things that have happened in the last 4 years that have really caused a lot of division amongst people on so many different fronts, which I'm not going to get into on this channel. But we all know what they are, and many people have lost a lot of friends and lost loved ones. What I mean is, I guess physically and in relationships. A lot of people have broken relationships with others. So don't be afraid to invite that friend or invite that neighbor. Hey, what are you doing for the holidays this year? Do you have any plans for um, Christmas Eve? And I know um, my spiritual beliefs, I personally I recognize Yule as the um, part of the season that I choose to celebrate, but I, due to my family, all of their beliefs, and it's just tradition as well. I still choose to celebrate Christmas, even though I don't identify as a Christian. I still choose to celebrate Christmas because it is, at this point, it's a secular holiday, and pretty much everybody else celebrates it. So um, I choose to recognize that. And really, Yule and Christmas are only a few days apart. So that's what I choose to celebrate with my family and loved ones. But yeah, give a helping hand to those in need. If you happen to have anything extra, you know, if you've got things kicking around in your pantry that you're not going to eat, I really encourage you to donate to your local food bank. There's going to be a lot of people in need this year of food. Also, I encourage you, this is a new year starting. We're coming into the season of winter. We're going to be in our homes more. I really also encourage people to go through their house and declutter. You know, anything that they don't want or need, either sell it or donate it. Especially clothes. You know, there are people in need of proper winter clothes that will not have winter clothes. Sadly, I remember 2 years ago. Was it 2 or 3 years ago? I went to the Christmas parade at the beginning of December in the town where we live, and it was the first week of December, and it had snowed and it was really cold. And I remember I didn't have my mucklucks, my Manitoba mucklucks at that time. I just had my leather boots, and my toes actually went numb. Like, it was so cold. And that was only with me being outside for a couple of hours, and the rest of me was dressed pretty warmly, except I don't think my coat quite covered the back of my legs, so I think the back of my legs did actually freeze. Like, I remember my skin hurt. And that was just standing outside for a few hours. That was, you know, I can't imagine how it feels to be on the street with no shelter at this time of year that we're approaching. So please, I encourage you, um, just try to help the community if you can. Obviously, don't do it at the expense of yourself, but if you do have some spare things kicking around that you don't mind parting with, I'm sure somebody in need would really appreciate that. So yeah, that's and protection, the elk being a protection rune. What is protection? I mean, not only is food, shelter, clothing, abundance is form of abundance, it's also protection. If you have shelter, you have protection. Um, if you have food, you're protected from starvation. If you have proper clothing, you're protected against the elements. So I'm seeing a bit of a lack there. So, all right. So that is that message. Let's go on to, I'd like to now invite the runes spirit to give me a message on what's going to happen for springtime. What kind of message do we have for the months of spring in 2025? Okay, and we've got the blank rune, which is the weird rune. This is an unusual rune, so I don't know, I can't remember if during the course of me in the last 6 months doing these videos if I've ever pulled this rune, but the weird rune is, I think I might have explained this before. So the difference between the weird rune and the Naudis is the Naudis is the rune of need. That's the rune that goes straight down and then it kind of has like a crisscross line through it. Whereas this is the blank fate stone. So we're getting into that energy where I feel like spring is really going to be a time where it's going to become a blank slate. People are going to have the chance to take control a little bit more of their own fate. We're going to have a chance to, I guess, start fresh and start anew. We're really going to start feeling more of a clean, maybe healthier, uplifting energy, I think, in spring. I know I always do, and of course, seasonally, it's really important because we've got the sunlight. We're going to be able to get out more, do more outdoor activities again. The day and the light are going to be exactly balanced at this time, so we're going to have a little bit more daylight, which will be lovely. And yeah, I do think this would be a good time to make some personal goals and to have a plan, and really start asking yourself some questions. Where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years? What do you want to be doing? What do you want your life to look like? Because this is the rune of the fate we can control. You know, we can't control where we're born, who our parents are, you know, how and where we grew up, but we can control everything in the present and the now, and especially if we're adults, we have more control than we did when we were in our youth. So it's really important at this time to be thinking about some important life decisions. I know for me, even now, I'm reflecting on really working on my health. It's been really difficult. I'll share in a bit of my personal perspective. It's been really difficult with diet and feeling in control of food, basically. What's toxic, what's not. Trying to eat the cleanest as possible, no processed food, trying not to eat any candy, and I'm actually happy I did not eat that much Halloween candy this year. In fact, I've had none today. So I was going to make an apple and a pumpkin pie, but I didn't really get around to it today due to how busy I was. So, alright, so take control of your fate. That is the fate stone. That's what I have to say about that. So let's get into some hot, fiery summer energy. Spirit, can you tell us, myself and my viewers, where we're going to be in summer and what to expect? Okay. Oh, there it is. Nowadays. So now this is the rune of fate. Isn't it funny? I just mentioned that rune. So I think in some of our personal lives, and again, this is a generalized reading, so not all of these things might apply to all of you, but during this summer, there's going to be a need for, I think, changes in our lives. As you guys know, the last 4 years, people have really opened their eyes to what's important in life. You know, a lot of people don't want to go to boring, mundane jobs that pay poorly, and people are treated poorly at work. People don't want to do it anymore. People want to feel like they have more financial freedom. People are done with conforming to a societal norm. Like, look at how much in the last 4 years. I mean, there were some people working online and remotely already before 2020, and we all know what happened in 2020. But now it's kind of almost begun to be extremely popular. A lot of people are working online and remotely and from home now, and people are doing a lot of jobs over the internet more than ever before, and are utilizing technology for work. So this is a time period where I think we're going to have to make a little bit of a shift. There's going to be a little bit of changes, whether that's in your personal life, in the workforce. Maybe some of you are going to be moving, or thinking about moving, or changing cities, or changing jobs. And it's not going to be a want, it's going to be a need. It's going to be out of necessity. Maybe some of you are going to have to change your schedule. Maybe some of you are going to have some things you need to look at with your health, and you're going to have to reevaluate your time and your schedule. I know I'm going through that right now. I'm working really hard, and I'm putting in a lot of hours at work, and it's winter time, so I get to scale back a little bit now. Things are going to slow down a little bit, and winter hours at work have changed to 6 p.m. now instead of 7, so I'm going to be forced to not be able to stay as late at work. So for me, those are changes that are even happening right now. And at this point, it's a necessity. I don't know if any of you have ever been through this before, but for me, I've had some times in my life where I've worked myself really, really hard, and I've tired myself out and actually suffered burnout. And there was a time where the burnout, actually, I suffered major consequences. I ended up being involved in a motor vehicle accident because I was so physically exhausted from burnout. So this is a time where we're going to have to look at evaluating. So in the spring, we're going to be focusing on the wants, and in the summer, we're going to be focusing on the needs. And maybe the want will turn into a need. We don't know that yet. So yeah, maybe also there'll be a need arising for some more meaningful personal relationships with others. We all need to socialize. We all need to have a support team, and even if your support team is just one or two people, it's better than nothing, right? Okay, so one more rune. Spirit, what do you have to tell us about the months of fall in 2025? What are we expecting during this time? In almost a year's time from now. And we got Hagalaz. I don't know, it's hard to see. A little bit of the symbol is worn off. So Hagalaz is the hailstone, rune of delay. So I wouldn't make major plans to do anything at this time, and if you do, whatever you have in motion might have a little bit of a delay. It's not that it won't happen, it's just going to take its time doing it. So I guess this year seems like it's going to be a really difficult year. Not impossible, just really difficult. Like, there's going to be a lot to navigate. So we all know what hail does. I mean, let me just give you an example. In the mechanic shop I work, we had a vehicle actually come in that it looked like the vehicle had been pounded on by golf balls. Like, the whole vehicle was dented, like all over the hood, all over the roof. And apparently these were hailstones that hit the car and caused damage to the exterior body right on the paint by the hail coming down. And the hailstones must have been pretty big in order to cause that damage. Like, never in my life have I ever seen a car that damaged. So you can only imagine what our ancient ancestors thought of hail. Hail is a very destructive force. It could destroy crops. Not only that, depending on how big the hailstones are, they can hurt. If you're in the middle of a hailstorm and you get hail on you. So, just at this time of year, just go into things with ease. Don't have too high of expectations on timing, and keep your hopes up. Everything will work out. You're just gonna have to learn to be patient and take your time with it. Whatever this may entail at the end of the year, next year, or fall next year. So yeah, I'm seeing, I don't know how this is going to align us astrologically. The astrologer I follow, and this reading has nothing to do with what I've heard from anyone else. I'm just going with what is being told to me intuitively. But it's interesting how I watch astrology videos, and the particular astrologer that I follow, she said 2025 is going to be a really hard, interesting year. There's going to be a lot of energy. Things are gonna be really hard for people. So, all I can say from this reading is, and I always say this, treat each other with love and with kindness, because we really need that right now. And put your best foot forward and just have hope, and everything's gonna be okay. Everything will work out. It's just gonna take time. Alright, well, last rune well, not Rune, sorry. That's last word of the night. I'm gonna shuffle these around a little bit. We're gonna pull an oracle card to conclude the reading because it is Samhain. Thought I'd use the Halloween deck. And then this deck gets to be retired for a while. Till probably late summer, or even halfway to Halloween again. Ooh, pardon me. Ugh. Getting a little tired. Oh my goodness, it did it again. Did you guys see that? Cards like flew out of my hand. Okay. Well, I'm reading these two. Wow. Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. Skull of Darkness, blind spots. Wow, this kind of almost reflects that. Okay, let me grab the book here. Okay, let's see what they have to say. We'll read the Skull of Flowers first, and then we'll read the Skull of Darkness. So, Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. To blossom and bloom, the work must be done. Through fire and ashes, our fortune it comes. Before flowers are born, they are sweet buds on a plant. They came from a smaller form like a seed or a bulb. The seed needs prepared, nourishing soil to grow its potential. Some plants and trees only seed after fire or a period of extreme adversity like a drought or flood. Sometimes we wish for life different from the one we have, and that can mean radical change. Sometimes to have the